I'm Dr. Shrikant Watve. I'm talking about my tour to the Italian cities. The first video was on Rome, then it was Florence, now it is Venice. So from Florence, we started in the morning and we reached Venice in the afternoon. When we came to Venice railway station, from there we had a water taxi which would pick us up from there and drop to a place very close to our hotel. So accordingly, we were dropped by water taxi very close to our hotel. We had just to climb two steps, a small bridge, because the entire Venice is standing on wooden blocks that have been put inside the sea, and the entire city is on that. So there are bridges and you have to walk. So walking, you can cover the entire area without any problems. So we just got down from our water taxi, went to the hotel, checked in. We took the map and we asked him, what should we do now? Because we had a evening tour using gondola in the canals. So that was at 5:30, something like that. So we had the afternoon. So he told us that it is better you try to move out and see some things which you can see nearby. So we went to a place where we could see the great Rialto bridge and all those things. I have given some photos of that. So we were moving around. So now what we should do, he told that check for high tide and low tide so that you are at a proper place at proper time. So okay, then there was no problem. So we just moved around walking. It was not too much of walk. Then we went to a place from where we were picked for a gondola ride. So that gondola ride, it is an interesting thing. The gondola ride is done by a person. We were, I think, four persons. It is done by a person who has a very long stick in his hand, and using that stick, he manages to drive this particular gondola through the small channels that are there. So he drove us through the small channels in that area. Whenever a bridge used to come, he used to just put his stick down and sit down. He never allowed us to get up. So we had a good round in the entire area around Venice city. And then lastly, he took us near something called as Mureno and Bureno Island. So this Mureno and Bureno Island are famous for glass works. Very famous, beautiful glass works. I have given some photos of the glass works and their showrooms that they have. On the way, we could see the Rialto Bridge. So seeing this entire gondola ride, we had seen this particular place, glass works and all that. We saw the Grand Channel, we saw the Rialto Bridge, and then after all that, it was a beautiful ride on the gondola. So after doing all that gondola ride, he again dropped us near the hotel. So it was already evening. So what we did was that we had some good fish and gelato very close to our hotel. And from there, again we went to some area where we could just walk. It was again Grand Palace and all that area. So we just went inside. Went in the Saint Mark's Basilica area, and we could take some beautiful photos of the canals and the travel in the canals. So I have given a lot of photos of that. And then we took rest. The next day, our tour by a guided person was to start from the main square. So what we did was that we finished our work and then we sleep, had a breakfast and walked using our known roads, because what we did was that we asked the hotel person what is the road by which we should go to the place from where this particular tour will start. So we went to that area. So we could see, first thing we could see Grassy Palace, Royal Gardens, then Saint Mary Church, Saint Maria Church of Saint Mark Basilica, Doggie's Palace, then Saint Mary Church, Piazza San Marco. All these things are in a particular square area. So we could see all those things. We actually were taken into a museum in that Grand Palace itself. So Doggie's private church is there, private chapel is there, Saint Mark's Basilica is there, and then we were taken inside a palace. This palace is absolutely beautiful. There are some gold things kept inside. the photos of which we could take. We have given the photos. Lot of paintings are there, so we could enter inside. We photographed lot of places that we could inside this particular place that we had gone. So we took the photos. They took us. It was about 2.5 hours that we were inside. So first floor, second floor, third floor, and then they took us to a place where they used to jail the persons who were not following the rules or who were not giving them taxes or all that. So they have shown that part also. From that window, we could see some more things behind the palace. So we were for quite a lot of time we were inside. Now, one interesting thing happened when we came out. We could see that there is a procession going on, so we just asked, what is the procession? They told that it is something celebratory procession with different dress. I think the photos you might have already seen. So we could see that it was in that same area, this clock tower area. Then there is a very good food market very close to it. Then there is a Saint Mark's Basilica and the clock tower. Now this big square has the clock tower and also has that, you can say, column in the center. So we went there, we had the photographs of all those places, and then when we were in that particular area, we could see some painted roofs even outside and also inside. There were depictions of the Jesus, or you can say the Bible scripts made at many places in form of paintings. So this Piazza San Marco is very big. Then St. Mark's Basilica is another beautiful thing there. We have got painted roofs, precious stones, gold, silver, and many things. Because what was the condition there, that anything that was traded along that particular route was taxed, and this tax was collected by the king there. And this doggy's palace or the doggy's collection is such that it has been maintained in a very good condition in that particular museum. He was a very famous king. He had the control of that entire area. So Venice was a trading part, and then this trading was continuously controlled by the king who was ruling there. So we could see the royal treasure and all those things. Then the political prisoners were kept in a different place. We could see that. Then there are a lot of marble things that are outside also and inside both. We could see all those. So this square is a very big gathering place, and it is a part of Doggy's palace. Now, since it was a trade center, this particular thing that is called as glasswork was done on two islands, which I just told you, Murina and Burino. The persons were allowed to do the glasswork there, but they were not allowed to transfer the technique. So the persons who would transfer the technique would not be allowed to come back to that area. So that was the condition that was put on them. So that was going on there. So we saw a lot of things that were being blown by those people. So we were there. So this Saint Mark, who was a barrier, he took a lot of things from the traders. Of course, he gave safety also. So there are, means this particular place has its trade links with Egypt, and there were a lot of things that were brought from Egypt to this particular place, and then this particular place flourished in a very good way. Now he has been buried in that particular place itself in Venice, so his graveyard and all that thing is there. Now, luckily, what happened was that when we were moving in the evening, after seeing all the things, we were moving around in that central area, Doggy's Palace, or you can say St. Mark's Basilica area. We just found out that there were some Indian tourists. I think it was either Patil Tours or something like that, Veena World or the other one. So we saw the caps and then we asked them from where you are. They told that they were from Mumbai and all that. And fortunately, I just noticed that one of my principal colleagues with his family was in the group. So I just went to him and I said, Arey, how have you been here? He told that we have come by boat. They will just move us around and take us back to the mainland where we are staying. Then he told that, Arey, there is a madam from your college who is also participating in our group. So I told where she is. So then we went searching and we found that Shastri madam and her husband were there. They were standing. We met them. I have given a photograph with them. So we could meet. Of course, I had retired in 2016, and she also, I think, had retired in the same period. So both were after retirement. But we met there. We had a small cup of tea. We had good discussions. We bought some chocolates there, and then I asked her regarding how she was touring. She told that these and these places have been covered. And I also told that we have finished two places and come over here. So meeting a college colleague in that remote area is a rare thing which happened. So we could meet Shastri madam. I think if she sees the video, she will also enjoy this particular photograph of her with us. So that was a good way that we had. And then after that, we again came back to our hotel. While coming back to the hotel, what we did was that we again bought some food so that we can have our food in the room itself. So started moving back. Distance was not too much, but we started moving back. And the tricky thing was that we were to sleep early because there was a pickup for us at 4:30 in the morning. So a boat, or you can say a small vessel type, or you can say some small boat will come, pick us up from the hotel and drop us at the airport, because our flight from there to the next place was very early in the morning. So we had to get up very early, pack up everything properly, and then go. So we were on that route, or you can say on this particular sea, on this small ship towards the airport next day morning to go to the next place. So we had a good view of this city of Venice. It is a beautiful city. Thank you for your observation and listening to me. Thank you again. Please like and subscribe so that I can give you some more videos. Thank you. Thank you very much.